Shintaro Furukawa did an interview with the Sankei News. Shintaro Furukawa is the president and CEO of Nintendo of Japan, aka he runs the company this channel is about. And there's one particular question in this interview, a very short interview, that we're going to focus on because there are some interesting things in this response. So the Sankei News asks, could you tell us how your goal is going for the Switch to sell 20 million units within the fiscal year? Furukawa responds, it is extremely ambitious, but worthwhile achievement. So, we will maintain this goal. Nintendo Switch is our primary sales objective, and we are not considering a successor or a price cut at this time. So think about what is being said here. This is before the investors meeting on the 31st. What we do know is Nintendo is not budging off their 20 million goal for this fiscal year. That lets you know whatever they have to report on the 31st must be putting them on pace to hit 20 million. Otherwise, they would adjust it now when there's only 3 months to go. So Nintendo and Furukawa seem to be pretty ambitious and pretty sure of themselves that they are going to hit 20 million this fiscal year. So that's really good news for those people that care about that sales data. But what's also really interesting is when he says they're not considering a successor, which, by the way, successor is not the same thing as a revision. So obviously they're not looking to replace Nintendo Switch anytime soon. That's not something I think anyone realistically thought was coming. And he wasn't even poked to talk about a successor. So he's literally just saying, hey, look, like, don't even bother because we're not going to have a Switch 2 or whatever people might be rumoring out there about something to combat PlayStation 5. Like, no, we're not even considering doing anything like that anytime soon. But what's interesting is they said there won't be a price cut at this time. Obviously, they're not going to cut the price now or within this fiscal year. But it's interesting just looking at these quotes in a bubble. It kind of makes you feel like there's no revision coming and they're not cutting the price at all this year. And I don't know that that's going to be the case, of course. I do think there will be a price cut by the holidays. And you might say, why would they cut the price when things are going so well? Well, because by the time you get to the holidays, things might not be going as well. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think it's been a foregone conclusion that there was going to be a new revision this year. And with that revision would come a price cut for the original model. But that might not be the case. It's entirely possible the Nintendo Switch still cost the base model $300 heading into 2020, especially if it continues to keep selling and selling and selling. Because honestly, why would you cut the price of a platform if you keep increasing your sales year on year? That makes no sense. It makes no business sense to like cut the price. You cut the price once it looks like sales are starting to slow down and you need a boost. You don't just cut the price when sales are continuing to rise. So it is possible that Nintendo hasn't even had a fleeting thought about cutting the price of the Switch. Because as I said, why would they have a thought about it right now? Things are going way too well to even consider it. Now, the thing about a successor is, again, it doesn't rule out a revision. Revisions and successors are not the same thing. As an example, a new Nintendo 3DS XL or a new Nintendo 3DS are not replacements. They are not new, like in terms of being a successor to the 3DS. They are still part of the 3DS line. The 2DS is part of the 3DS line. The new Nintendo 2DS XL is part of the Nintendo 3DS line. It's a family of systems. And if you remember, when they launched Nintendo Switch, they did say something about there being a family of systems for that platform. Right now, it's just a singular system. A family does not exist, but that does tell you that there will be a family of Nintendo Switches in the future. Now, again, I don't know if that revision's even coming this year. All the rumors on the revision are just that, rumors. We have no actual evidence from Nintendo themselves to suggest they are going to price cut, which Furukawa literally said they're not even considering it right now, which, again, why would they? And, you know, that there is a revision coming. We assume there is, but that doesn't mean that's going to be the case. And again, another thing about the revision could be, why release a revision now when the sales are booming? Why not wait until 2020 when other new hardware might be hitting the market to then drop your revision? So again, this, I'm not really sure. I'm probably reading way too much into this quote because, again, it doesn't say there won't be a revision soon. It doesn't say there won't be a price cut at all this year, but it does make it sound like they're not considering it. And it's made me rethink some of the logic on that revision and on the price cut. It's made me realize, you know, if you just sit back and look at the facts, Switch is killing it. Why would Nintendo release a revision? Why would Nintendo cut a price at a point when Switch has so much momentum it doesn't need it? Why wouldn't you wait until it looks like momentum might be slowing down? Now you might say, well, to be proactive, of course, you do it before the momentum slows down to keep the momentum going longer. I get that, but I feel like you can get a taste of the momentum slowing down and just have something ready to go in case that happens. Like if we get to summer and it looks like Switch sales are dipping like they were last year, okay, drop the revision. Like you can already have it ready to go. You can already be manufacturing it and just holding off shipping it to retailers. Like you can already have that whole thing ready to go and just wait to push the button until you need it. And that might be Furukawa's approach. I think what's important to remember about Shintaro Furukawa is he's a finance person. He is a businessman through and through. He is not a video game maker. He is not thinking about the ebbs and flows of video gamer feelings or how many of us feel like there should at least be like an XL or a Mini or something that improves upon the current design of the Switch. He's not thinking with a gamer mind. He's thinking with a business mind. And business-wise, why would you cut the price and why would you release a new product or a new SKU in that product line at the time that the original product is absolutely dominating? It doesn't make business sense. That's basically what I'm saying here. And the more and more I think about it, the more and more I wonder if we're going to see a new Switch in 2019. Some people are going to feel happy about that who recently got a Switch and realize they don't need to worry about upgrading anytime soon. But, you know, again, this is just going to be a cycle that repeats later. You know, people get it for Animal Crossing. People get it for the new generation of Pokemon. And they wonder, should I buy this or should I wait for the new revision? Like, this is what people always think about. They think about it with phones. Should I get the new phones coming out this year? Or should I wait for the phones next year? Or next year's phone's going to be the big leap? Are we going to have foldable phones? Like the foldable screen phone technology? Is it going to come back in a flip phone form that we might really want? That makes our phones smaller when in our pockets, but bigger when we want to use them. Blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of things going on out there in the world of technology. And it'll be interesting to see if Nintendo plans to do anything about that in this next year when it comes to Switch, because as it stands right now, from the business perspective, I can see Nintendo possibly doing nothing. So just releasing their games and continuing to sell millions upon millions upon millions of the base Nintendo Switch. You guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. I know I'm reading way too much into these quotes because, again, it says successor, not revision. And, again, it says right now with the price cut versus obviously down the line. But it's a new mentality. I think it's been a foregone conclusion. They were going to do a price cut. They were going to release a new system. But what about the other side? What if it just doesn't make sense to do that? You guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Anyways, folks, I'm Nathaniel Rovagents from the channel. Be sure to like this video, subscribe for more content, enter our Nintendo Switch Super Smash Bros. Ultimate giveaway through the Gleam.io link down in the description, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next one.